welcome back to what the podcast considers Season 2 and what I call Book 2 of the King's Information Network podcast and book series. Book 2, Confronting the Past, just published last week on Amazon. It will soon be on other retailers, so if you want to find that, please look it up. Again, I am Casey Chuico. I am the author of the series, doing this just mostly for funsies, but hoping a few people continue to listen from book 1. And yeah, so we're going to do a couple quick housekeeping things, and we're going to start in next week with new episodes. So first of all, Confronting the Past is much shorter than Nothing's Ever Easy is. So I'll only be doing one chapter a week, so the episodes will be shorter and very bite-sized, comparatively, about half. Nothing's Ever Easy's chapters, we're usually around an hour. These will probably be more like a half an hour, maybe a little less or a little more, depending on the chapter. Second of all, this is, as I said, book 2. It does follow some of the characters that you met in the first book. There's also some new characters who will feature in pretty much all the rest of the books. And there are some characters that you might have come to enjoy and love who won't be in this book, but might just make some cameos in later books, because we're switching our focus from, obviously, Revolution to the relatively newly formed King's Information Network, which is mentioned and formed at the end of Nothing's Ever Easy. So that's that. Let me quick think, is there anything else? I'm going to read you the back cover so you have an idea of what you're getting into with this season. I will say that there's a little bit more if you are someone who gets squeamish around or has issues with like torture. There's definitely some more elements of that. There's a little bit of sometimes a little bit darker element. Not really any worse than Nothing's Ever Easy, but it does make me squirm a little bit more reading it out loud. So just kind of an FYI, to keep in mind as we go forward. So yeah, book 2 is Confronting the Past. Here's the back cover copy. It's been 4 years since the Battle of Oakbridge, and the King's Information Network is finding its stride in helping keep Tira and the High Castle line safe. Russell Darcy has found his way, and a home within the organization as the public second in command. He feels good about life again after years of being haunted by his youth in Greyspire, a mysterious guild-run and fog-shrouded city along Tira's main trade routes. When an untried teenage kin agent is sent into Greyspire without knowledge of the city's unsavory underworld, Russ's past is set on a collision course with his new life. After the young agent disappears, Russ is forced to take action. He and Colin Lockholm, Kin's founder, head to Greyspire, where things are more dire than they could have imagined. As the conflict reaches a boiling point, Russ and his allies must use all the skills at their disposal. Even then, the entire trajectory of Kin might be changed forever. So we'll be back next week with the first chapter. There's 20 some odd chapters, so for the next 20 weeks, expect a chapter. And when we get to the end of that, we'll discuss what comes next. Thanks again for listening, and I hope you enjoy Book 2.